Hey everyone, it's Amar, and today I'm going to be showing you how I go about getting my lead tone on my Strat. I've gotten a lot of requests and questions about this on Instagram, so I am going to break it down for you, hopefully in a way that you can apply it to whichever modeler that you're using. I'm using the Axe FX2, but I'll try to explain it in a way where you can apply it with whatever options that you have. Before we get started, I'm going to ask that if you're not subscribed, please do, and hit that like button. If you find this video helpful, at the end just leave a comment, let me know. If not, also leave a comment and let me know what I could have done better. So let's get to it. So this guitar has the American standard single coil pickups. Nothing too special actually. I'm on the neck pickup, that's where I spend most of my time with leads. It's just warmer and fuller sounding. So this is a bright guitar. So my approach here is to get a darker sound to begin with. The first thing is the amp model, that's our bass tone. I'm using the Brit JVM Overdrive 2 red channel on the Axe FX. So a Marshall on the red channel is what you want to go for. The red channel is the important thing here, the high gain. And my drive is around 60% with the master down. So a lower master will help in keeping out any of that harshness, right? Because the single coils sometimes overdrive in a pretty harsh way, and I'm trying to avoid that. So I have a boost here. If you don't have a boost, that's fine. You might just need to turn up the drive a little bit more and the bass lower if you're not using an Axe FX. But this helps tighten things up, and I'm on the bright channel, but let's start without the bright channel just to show you what I'm going for here. The cab, we're gonna go for a 4x12. So this is a Marshall cab. Nothing special, and what I actually do is I go through and I try to find a muddy cab. Yeah, a muddy sounding cab, because I want something really warm. Like that, so warmer, and also the breakup, you'll hear that the overdrive is just smoother now. So go for something more muddy. That's my approach here, something muddy. And so we have this dark sound now this dark sound to balance out the bright sound of the guitar. But now we want to add that clarity back, right? And we're going to start by turning on the bright channel. If you don't have that option on your modeler, you're going to need to add some more treble, maybe some more presence. So already better, more clear, but we still have that smooth overdrive and that full round tone. Next thing I do is go to the EQ and I cut at 125. You could cut between 250 and 500, usually around 300 or somewhere between there, just depends on your guitar. I find myself doing that after recording post. But when I'm just playing through the tone, I just like to have those lower mids there. It just feels better to me to play through that. But I usually almost always cut them on a professional recording, somewhere around 300 to 500. But for now, I'm just gonna cut the 125. So we already have more clarity on the low end, just like that. And the other thing I'm gonna do is cut on the cab at 80 Hertz and at 10K right there. So we have those cuts. Again, if you're not using the Axe FX, you may need to add EQ at the end over here. Let's get rid of this gate. So you may need to add an EQ right there. Oh man. All right. So back to the amp. Oh, we did the cab. All right, back to the amp. So we added our EQs. Sounding better. Next thing we're gonna do is I'm gonna go to the dynamics. So we're trying to get rid of any harshness in the tone, and I'm gonna lower this preamp dynamics a bit. What this does is just kind of eliminates the difference between softer picking and harder picking. The amp just responds the same way no matter what. We're getting closer, and I'm also going to add some more compression right here. If you don't have this, you'll be adding a compressor at the beginning of your chain, actually right after the noise gate. I'll get back to the noise gate. I forgot to talk about that. So the compression really smoothens out the tone. Yeah, so we no longer have any of that harsh overdrive that you get from single coils often. Next thing is, let's go to the noise gate real quick. I just have it set like this. Release is pretty high, not too high. At 20 milliseconds, you can go more. I don't like to go too low because it is a lead tone, so I want a smooth decay. Threshold at 50 just to get rid of some of that hum. So now that we have the compression, the high gain channel on the amp, that's already plenty of compression. We're gonna add a drive, and I'm using the T808 OD. Where are we at? Okay, level at 10 and drive at 0. You may have done this, and this is going to give us an even smoother sound. Very cool. That's pretty much our tone. It's just that. There's really not much to it. The main things are the darker sound and then brightening it up with some EQ, bright channel. Everything here is up to you with the treble, the mids. It just depends. I keep my mids a little bit higher just because the guitar is a mid-range instrument and I like mids. So we have a bright guitar going into a darker tone that we brightened up with, and we EQ'd the low end so it's not as muddy, so we add more clarity there. And we add a drive and a compressor. Here I'm using the compression from the Axe FX amp model. I'm increasing the compression there, so we're adding compression to get that smooth sound. Those are the main elements right there. Dark tone, compression. And finally, it's the delay and reverb. So that's the end of it. So on the delay, I'm using a ping pong. I went for a Malmsteen kind of thing over here, but I toned it down a bit. So ping pong at 1/4, which is quarter note tempo. A reverb as well. This is how I route it. If you're not routing it like this, you'll go delay, then reverb. So reverb, medium room. Sounds pretty sweet. And finally, I often just use it like this, but I also enjoy adding another delay with a different tempo and another reverb with a bigger room, wide hall here, to get And if you're not using the Axe FX, this is not what you want to do here. You don't want the mix at 100. I'm running it parallel, so that's why it's at 100. But if you only have one chain going across, you're gonna have the mix way lower, or it's going to sound just unusable, right? So delay, delay, reverb, reverb if you have just one signal path. And that is it. I hope this helps. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions, and I'll be sure to get back to everyone.